Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Patient Players Podcast. Today is your October the 5th episode. This is episode 52. My name is Daniel. I am your host today, joined by my wonderful co-host, Jordan. How you doing, Jordan?
No. You're joined by Spoopy Jordan.
Spoopy Jordan's back. It's been a whole year. My friend.
I'm here to haunt your biscuits, so you better watch out, because you're about to get haunted like you had never seen before.
Good luck. Just wait till you encounter my holy butter.
Oh, no. Does it have garlic in it?
No, that's vampires.
Well, I'm a vampire
Silly.
ghost. I'm a vampire that died.
Shoot.
So you better need garlic butter.
Get the garlic butter.
Do you have garlic butter?
I don't know, bro. We have garlic and we have butter.
Oh, there you go. Just marry them in holy matrimony.
Yep. So how have you been this week?
I'm good, but what do we do here on Patient Players Podcast, Daniel?
Well,
if you don't remind me, then I don't know what we're talking about. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, on this fine podcast, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We do talk about video games. We talk about what we like to call
video
gaming
games
in the slow lane.
So this isn't the anime podcast.
No, that's next week.
Goodness. Okay, I thought I walked into the wrong recording studio.
Oh yeah. No. Just my agent will call your agent. I'll see you in big screen. I'll get. By the way, both of our agents they're both Keaton. So.
So he just has the information.
Yeah.
Great. He would still email himself though, knowing Keaton.
So we're going to talk about video games. We're going to talk about what we call gaming in the slow lane, which is our way of saying that when we want to play a game, we just play what is interesting to us, what has been a good deal for us to buy. We are very rarely jumping in on the brand new, hottest, newest games. Some of those have been coming around recently that we get to play, so you'll hear some of that stuff. But a lot of times, if there have been updates to the games we like, or if there are games on some of these cool free services, subscription services that we get our hands on, we'll talk to you about those. This week, I will say, is going to be a big week for the deals. If you have some money burning a hole in your pocket and you are a patient player like we are, this is the first week of October. So all of the October free games for the various monthly services are out there. Of course, you still have the weekly free games from Epic and some of the Game Pass games, things like that. So we have a lot to talk about this
week. You say if money is burning a hole in their pocket?
Yeah, have you never heard that phrase?
No, I have, but also for those who the lack of money is burning a hole in your pocket, I'd say, for these sweet deals, you know?
That's true. I guess with a free game, you don't really need the money to be burning the hole in the pocket.
Yeah, your pocket is just burning because it's because it's full of cash. No, wait, because it's empty. Sorry, I messed that up. It's just an empty pocket. It's just burning a hole, and you're like, I need to fill this pocket with free games. There we go.
Well, how many games have you been filling your pockets with?
So many, dude. I've been playing a lot recently.
Oh, I'm excited to
have
hear
you been
about
playing
that.
a lot?
It feels like I have. I have a couple things to talk about. I don't have a bunch to go in depth on. I started some new games, and I finished some games, so that's cool. I have a couple things to talk about there.
That's cool.
I will mention for anyone listening, we're going to talk about those games and the deals, but we do also have at the end a question and answer section of the podcast. That question and answer section, we'll talk more when we get there, but you can send us emails at patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com, or you can contact us a dozen other ways through patientplayers.com/social, including anyone listening to the live recording stream that we do on the weekends of each episode. You can catch us on those streams through those same links. If you're listening right now, you can also send us questions during the recording, and we can get to those by the end. So a little bit of live Q&A going on here.
Very exciting, Daniel. Thanks for telling us that. I mean,
welcome.
Ooh.
Oh, where'd he go?
Ooh.
He just phased through the wall.
I hope you don't have any steak.
I can smell the ectoplasm.
I fear steak.
You fear steak?
Yeah, because I'm a vampire ghost.
like I'm gonna take this beef tip and slam it into your heart. Is that what we're going for here?
Yeah. I fear slabs of meat sharpened to a tip and plunged into my sweet.
Well done. There's no flavor.
You're giving me chills just hearing you say that. Like bad chills, not good chills.
Not the good kind of ghost chills.
Yeah. Well, man, you know what, Daniel? I've been waiting all week to tell you this.
Okay.
I have some news.
you have news. What is your news?
I have some news. Here's the news. I've learned something this week, and it's very sad news. I have good news and I have bad news. So I'll give you the good news first.
Okay.
Good news is, on the topic of Mario 3D All-Stars, because I've been talking about that a lot.
Yeah, you're playing it a lot.
Yes, I beat and completed Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
100%.
Good job.
I did it.
Did you do all the blue coins yourself?
No.
Okay. You were saying that was like impossible, so.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the bad news.
Okay.
I think Mario Sunshine is a bad game.
Okay. Bold statement.
I think it's bad.
You're not the first person whose opinion I generally respect who have said that. So,
and it breaks my heart to say this, because I've mentioned this before too. I would hear the haters and I'd be like, how dare they insult my boy? Mario Sunshine is wonderful. So I guess on that note, I would say if you have no intention of completing it to the fullest, then I retract my statement. It is still just a fun experience with a few setbacks.
Okay.
With a lot of setbacks. But if you want to do all the things, wow, my dude, there's a lot there.
Okay.
There's a lot there.
You kind of cut off my question before I even got to ask it, because I was going to ask, like, is it a problematic game to play or to complete? But you were saying it was better to just play through it, but some of the challenges are a little harder, or what?
Yeah, I'd say so. And like, not even stuff that is like, it's stuff that's the game's fault, you know? Like the camera, it's basic stuff. The camera can really suck. The controls can really suck. Like his movement. Some of the level designs just really suck. Like, oh my goodness. I was playing this and I was like, I love this game so much, but that was just terrible. Like, who designed that? That was so not fun. It's amazing how many aspects of it where I played through it and I said, that was terrible. Like, I can honestly say, you know, getting all 120 shines was like a childhood dream completed. You know, I was not good enough back then. I did it now. I never, ever want to do it again. Ever. What? I don't care if Mario Sunshine comes out like remastered. Okay, maybe remastered if they like fix the controls in the camera. But like,
which is that ever going to happen in any way?
Well,
absolutely
yeah,
not.
exactly. But like when the next console comes out and they're like, here's Mario All-Stars 2 with Mario Sunshine on it again, I'm going to say, no, thank you. Maybe I'll beat just the story and be like, that was great, whatever. But ooh, I never ever want to do that again. That's how bad it was.
Okay. So like, is there an example you can give me of like why it's so bad? Because you talk about controls and camera and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I wish I had an example. It's like not as fresh in my brain anymore. I'm more so just going off of the emotions that I was feeling as I was completing it like a week ago. Okay. And they were very, very strong emotions for a long period of time.
Is it the duration you played? Like if you had broken it up like when you were a kid?
No,
and you've done like a few missions?
So I wish, unfortunately, what the Switch does is it doesn't tell you your play time of a game until you've played it for a week. So I don't know.
That is very strange.
Yeah, so I wanted to beat Galaxy and check play time to see how long it took. So I couldn't do that. So all I know is that Galaxy and Sunshine combined was 40 hours. Okay. So like all in all, I don't think I spent that much time on Sunshine. I would play maybe like 2 hours every like here and there, 2 to 3 hours, like just on handheld it like before I went to bed. So I wouldn't say it took me long at all, but it was a grind, my dude.
Huh. Ugh. Okay. I mean, I've been looking for a time to jump in. It's not like top of my priority list. I've been playing other games I'll talk about in a minute, so
I almost wish it was so I could hear your input on it too. Cause and also I should talk to Keaton about it some, because I know Keaton also recently got all 120 because we're both playing the game in opposite directions. I'm going from newest to oldest. He went from oldest to newest. So we met in the middle in the same week, and we both got all 120
Nice.
shines. Yep. So I need to talk to Keaton about it more. I need some insight because I don't want it to be a bad game. I loved this game growing up. I absolutely loved it, and I was just so fed up with playing it recently that
Jeez.
I'm sad.
Yeah, and like so I'm trying to remember, like I remember certain levels that seemed really difficult or like wow, that was tough, but I always just attribute it to me being a kid. And I feel like I would have more fun. I would understand more about how the game works now to enjoy it
Right.
more.
Yeah. I know
So
I do. Like I mentioned that before where I was doing like super good jump combos
yeah,
that
and like there's weird water spurts you can do in midair that are
yep.
like super effective now. Like, and I never would have figured that stuff out when I was younger.
Yeah, same here. Like I like saved a few clip of me being like, oh, I want to get up there like really quick, and then I go like pop 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 like this really cool move, and I'm like, I never could have done that, and I'd like save a clip of it. But even with that, just a grind, just a painful grind.
I got very, very, very limited hands-on with the Super Mario 64, in that my wife is kind of experiencing Mario for the first time, Mario 64 for the first time. She's only ever experienced Odyssey and like a little bit of Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. And so she's learning everything from square one, and it's kind of cool to see that happening. She's making
That
steady
is cool.
progress. She's in the desert area right now, and
Ugh, I hate that one.
I always remember really liking the desert area as a kid. And like I played it on the DS, but I actually played it even before that on the N64 when I was really little. And I was young enough where I wasn't like trying to beat the game. I would just go into the fun levels and do the
Yeah.
fun things over and over
Yeah,
again.
that's
Right?
fun. Yeah.
Like riding the little Koopa shell around was my favorite thing. And so I remember really liking the sand level, but I couldn't really remember why. And I remember those pillars you could run up and down. And so she was on that level, and I was like, "Oh, cool, you're on the sand level. Have you like gone up and down the pillars yet?" And she's like, "No." Yeah, you can just run right up those, right? She's like, "I didn't know that." And I didn't realize that she was on the mission called like Secret at the Top of the Pillars. And like that was like what you were supposed to be doing, and I felt really bad for spoiling that for her. But
There's
then
no way you would know though, because like the game doesn't give you any hint, does it?
I don't know. That's what I was curious about. That's why I mentioned it to her, because I was trying to see if it had already told her you could do that. And I got myself in a little bit of hot water. So the bird stole her hat. And
Right.
so she was Mario without the hat, and she was really trying to get the bird and struggling for a while. And I was like, "Oh, you can go up on these pillars, and I think that's how you get him." And she was like, "Well, I want to do it." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want you to do it. I'm not going to do it for you." And then she was trying to climb the pillar, and she kept hitting the pillar and falling in the sand and dying. And I was like,
That sounds
okay.
so annoying.
I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have to do something special to climb the pillars. Here, can I try? And she was a little hesitant. She's like, I want to do it. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna try to climb the pillar. And I put on the flying hat and I flew over to the pillar and I like ran up it. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, like you can. And then from behind the camera, the bird flew in, and I panicked,
yeah.
and I jumped and I got the hat back, and I felt horrible.
Oh no.
It was a bad time. She was very upset with me.
Yeah,
rightly so.
I could imagine.
I accidentally did the thing I told her I wasn't going to do.
That's how good you are at games. You accidentally do the thing that you are told not to do. The one thing you had one not job.
The bird with the hat flies over your head, and the two things you do in Mario: you run and you jump. And I did the wrong one. I did the jump one.
Oh, yep. Oh well, but that does remind me of a good example of Sunshine.
Okay.
Of and I've already mentioned it too, where you spend like, I don't know, 15 minutes doing something, and you accidentally walk off a cliff, or you don't jump in time, and it's like, oh, you're out of lives. Back to the main menu. You have to do the whole thing all over again.
Am I wrong, or does the game over screen say too bad?
I think it says game over. I don't remember it saying too bad.
Isn't there a Mario game that says too bad?
That sounds a little familiar.
Is it Super Mario Galaxy?
Wait, no, yeah, I'm seeing Mario Sunshine pictures.
Mario Sunshine's too bad, game over. Yeah, it definitely, when you die, the game over screen says game over, but when you die, it just says too bad.
I did not remember that. I wonder if they took it out or if I just didn't notice.
You're just so used to it.
Yeah, I only got game over maybe 4 or 5 times,
Hmm.
and in those scenarios where I was like really upset, it only took me like 2 or 3 tries, which isn't a big deal. But when it's the amount of time in between
Hmm.
the tries
Hmm.
that what makes me the most infuriated
Right.
is like, this isn't hard. I just messed up one spot on accident. It was the game's fault, and because of that, I had to do this whole thing all over again. That's what really gets to me.
I
So
feel like I remember in the strategy guide for Sunshine that there was a tip on like how to abuse the casino to get infinite lives, to get like 99 lives.
that sounds
There's
nice.
there was like a trick to get it to do coins every time,
Hmm.
and you would get like hundreds and hundreds of coins, and so you could get level ups.
Oh, that's nice.
And the star that you get by getting 100 coins doesn't spawn in that room, and there's no way to get out. So you couldn't use it to get that star, but you could use it to get a bunch of extra lives.
That sounds nice. Yeah. Oh man, do you remember
Pro
the
tips.
oh, the pachinko machine? Is that what it's called?
It is. I don't remember it myself. I don't think I ever got that shine, but I have seen like let's players trying to do it and just how insane that one is.
Even that, like from start to finish, took me maybe 25 minutes.
Mhm.
Like, who cares? It's 25 minutes. But it's dying every like minute is what is so annoying. And there's nothing you can do about it because the controls are so bad. You're
Mhm.
like, just go over here. And Mario's like, bye. And, down the hole, it's like, oh, game over. Now you're back at the main hub and you have to go all the way back to the thing. But you can't just jump up in it. You have to get on the boat and wait for the boat to go under the hole so you can jump up into the level.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
where that
stuff
one
like
was.
that where it's like, oh, this is not fun. This is so not fun. But it's so easy. And if you could just do it without all that extra fluff being added in, then it wouldn't be a big
Right.
deal.
And that's a situation where dying, even if you have extra lives, it still kicks you back to the main thing, right?
Well,
Yeah.
no, if it's when you get a game over, that's when it kicks you back to the hub.
Oh, okay.
But when you get kicked back to the hub, you start with 4 lives, so you get 4 more chances before you get another game over.
Right. Right. That's fairly generous, but maybe unnecessary to even have that system in the first place.
It's not generous when you can just land on a spot and the game's like, oh, gravity now says you go this way, and you get thrown off into the abyss, the actual abyss, not the one with K in it.
The Mario abyss.
Whew, yeah. So I'm really happy that I completed it, but I don't want to do it again. Mario Galaxy was awesome to do, I think for the 3rd time, getting all 242. But Mario Sunshine, I'm good.
To know.
Dandy.
I got a little bit of Mario, and I think you did too, besides the 3D All-Stars, because Mario 35 came out this week, right?
That's right. Yeah. Super
Speaking of
fun.
Free with subscription games, anyone with the Nintendo subscription is able to play that one. And I had skipped out on Tetris 99 because I was intimidated by people who are good at Tetris. And but I decided to jump in on this one. And so just like during the pre-stream before we got on and started doing our live recording, I played about 3 rounds of that. You said you've played a few rounds yourself?
I did. I played like 3 or 4 rounds. Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts and opinions.
First round, I was the first to die.
Oh wow.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be this is gonna be like my Daniel moment where I run in and I get first place my first game. I just ran up to the enemy and then
That first Goomba, that 1-1 Goomba got you?
Yep, it did. And I was like, well dang. Second try though, I got 6th place. So I did awesome the second time.
This trajectory, you should just play it one more time and you'll be good.
Exactly. I'll be like negative 15th place or something.
Right?
But it's fun. And you seemed like you were having fun.
I was absolutely having fun. I didn't quite understand, like, okay, so what is the win condition here? Because in Tetris, the win condition is like, all right, if you get enough blocks, right, you're sending junk to other players, that's eventually going to kill them. And Tetris is such a fast-paced game that you need to be placing pieces all the time. But with Mario, it was like you had this timer pushing you ahead, right? So you couldn't just stand there and live forever because there was a timer going, and eventually you're gonna have to move forward, and all of these enemies you've collected are gonna hit you all at once. But the thing is that, like, my timer was regularly up in like the 4 or 5 minute range, and I was like, I'm not pressured by this timer at all. I can really take my time with each of these screens.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like I always ended up dying because I was going too fast, and that maybe if I just played Mario like very carefully and just killed all the enemies along the way. Because every enemy you kill gives you an extra second on the timer. So if
Right.
people are sending hundreds of Goombas at you, you're just getting hundreds of seconds. So I was like, I'm just confused how the late game works, but the early game that I played 2 or 3 times was very fun. It's great running through with the star, just hitting like 500 enemies.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you see like your screen just shooting enemies to all of these opponents like crazy.
Fire Flower is also just nuts good, like crazy good. Once you lose it, it's like a whole new game where it's like, oh no, I don't have that super duper way of killing enemies now.
Yeah, it's like survival mode all of a sudden until you get a fire flower.
Yeah.
I saw something on the internet yesterday or today of someone was like on screen with like 30 Lakitus that were all throwing things.
Oh my goodness.
It was nuts. Someone in the comments on that video said that they at one point had 3 Bowsers.
Yes, that's awesome. I experienced a little bit of that too because they have a special course mode that changes like every week, I think, where everyone does the same level. And the one it chose for this week was a Bowser level. So at one point, there's like multiple Bowsers you have to go through on different.
Because every person beats that Bowser level, it sends Bowser to someone else.
Exactly.
So that you have some poor sap with 6 Bowsers on his screen.
Yeah, it was so cool. But I had a Fire Flower, so it was super easy.
Wow. Okay. I think that'll be a fun little like. I don't think I'll play an hour of that game, but I'll play it for 20 minutes here or there.
The progression confuses me in a weird way. It's like, oh, you leveled up. Congrats. Here's like new icons and stuff, you know? Usually I think that's like, you know, cool stuff. I want to level up my profile and get new unlocks. Not for a limited time game though. I'm like, why?
I forgot this game was going away. That just blew my mind.
I'm like, why would I want to like unlock new profile icons when I don't get them anymore in 4 months?
Yeah, well, when you're gonna just strip all the progression away, I forgot how weird that is.
Yeah.
Do you think there's gonna be like a collection of these games, like the Nintendo Switch Online package, where you get like Tetris and Mario and maybe like a Zelda something or other, or Metroid at some point?
I have no idea. I'm hoping that they'll just like rebrand it as Mario something else that isn't 35. Because it's like, oh, it's not 35
99.
anniversary. Yeah, like maybe that would be a little crazy. But maybe just, I don't know what they'll do. You know what they did do this week?
What's that?
Do you remember the bunny jump rope game that they released on Switch?
Yes, I forgot. It was going away, right?
It was. I didn't know it was going away. But they tweeted, they're like, okay, actually, you know what? Everyone plays it, so we're not taking it away anymore. So here you go. You get to keep the bunny jump rope game.
Good.
Until further notice, they did add. So they implied that they can take it down later.
I just had a horrible realization.
Yeah.
Nintendo is an abusive relationship.
Oh no. With who?
Like, with us. With the consumer.
Okay.
They're like, all right, you can have your free jump rope bunny game because you asked for it, but you have to know I'm in control here. You have to know that I can take it away at any point.
Goodness gracious. That's depressing.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's like they want you to have fun, but not too much fun, right? Like they want you to always know that they're in charge of the fun that you have.
You need to remember who the fun belongs to if you're going to be having their fun.
And it's the big Nintendo lawyer. That's who the fun belongs to.
Dang. So I'm hoping they'll do that with Mario 35. You know,
keep it around.
Yeah, look at to the end and be like, you guys, wow, you booped 300,000 Bowsers. Because of that, we're gonna keep it until further notice. Congratulations.
Some like ridiculous thing that you're gonna cross the boundary in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Really low bar.
I don't know. It's crazy.
So I have played some stuff that I haven't talked about in a while. I have played stuff that I've been talking about a lot. So of course, more Heroes of the Storm. I am officially over halfway to Platinum 2.
Oh, very nice.
So I've continued climbing the ranks on the ranked Heroes of the Storm matches. We're still playing a lot of Among Us. Like I played some last night with randoms just for 2 or 3 rounds.
Oh, that's cool. How'd you like it?
It was all right. I played with randoms here on and off. Definitely not the same feel at all.
Yeah.
It's so much harder to figure out who it is when you're the crew member. Like it's so much easier to be the imposter with random people. But it's also so much easier to just get randomly voted off and killed because someone accused you.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine.
Very, very strange game. But we've also been playing as groups on the Patient Players Discord server. So as a reminder, if anyone listening wants to try Among Us or play it with folks that like to have a good time and keep things pretty chill, the Among Us Discord channel, that's patientplayers.com/Discord. You can join over there, and there is a notification system where you can get notified when people are playing and join in. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I actually found a new friend this week and got her into playing. So we have
Cool.
yet another person to join us next time we play.
Sweet.
She said she played with her siblings, and they all chose the same name and the same hat. Can you imagine how hard that would be to accuse someone? You would have to do it by color.
Have you seen the little Halloween hats they've added?
Yes, so good. I had the little paper bag one that I chose.
They're so popular though that like when I was playing with online random people, there was like 4 people that had a ski mask, and I stopped remembering their colors, and I just remembered the one with the ski mask, and then there were 3 of them.
Oh
And
no!
I was like, one of them is the killer, but I don't know which one.
Oh, pro strats.
Right? Just wear the same hat as somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So those are still fun, but I did go back and actually complete some games, which is a little rare for me. You hear
No.
me starting games left and right, but I have beaten 2 games this week.
Well, it's
Jordan.
because you're a patient player.
That's true.
No
Well,
rush to beat them. You just
exactly.
you're playing them patiently.
My backlog can be infinite, which it feels like it is at this point. But I did complete Halo Combat Evolved.
Oh.
I can put that in my belt. I am now a Halo player. I'll have you know. I have Haloed at this point. You can call me a true gamer now.
Payload.
I beat the first game. I haven't booted up the second game. So at this point, I've played through all of Reach and I've played through Halo 1. I started playing Halo 1 right before they released Halo 3, and they just released Halo ODST. So they only have one more. They only have Halo 4 to release, but I'm still very far behind on catching up with the PC releases of these games. All in all, I had a really good time. I think it was very fun. I can definitely see how going from like old school traditional shooters, like I'm trying to think of a good example. I mean, I'm thinking of like Nintendo 64 era, right? So like even GoldenEye, like James Bond GoldenEye or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then jumping to something like Halo, just how absolutely crazy that is with like good graphics and like cut scenes showing you what's going on, and like these big set pieces with explosions, and you're driving a car, and like all of this stuff is super crazy compared to where that eventually led with like your modern Call of Duties and Titanfalls and stuff. It's not quite as spectacular as that stuff or as action packed. And I found that the weapon variety was honestly kind of low. There's like 3 alien weapons and like 2 or 3 human weapons, and then maybe some special, like every once in a while you'll get a sniper rifle or a rocket launcher or something like that. And so I still had fun with that, but it felt like a low price game
Like an
because
indie game.
yeah, it felt like an indie game because it was like 10 hours long, and it had like not a lot of variety in the enemies, not a lot of variety in the weapons, and I was like, this feels like someone put their heart and soul into a really good indie game, but at the time it was like this revolutionary AAA thing. So it's cool to see how things have progressed, and I'm really glad that I've got that under my belt now to have experienced it. And I'm interested in where the story goes, which is weird because that's not something I think about with Halo. But I was under the impression that Halo 1 was a much grander campaign, when in reality it's just like one mission the whole game. It's like you arrive at the Halo on this ship and this bad thing is happening, and then through the course of all the missions of the game, you're basically just like on one continuous mission. Like you don't go to other locations. You don't. It doesn't take place over like weeks and months like a
Mm-hmm.
modern war game would. It's just like
Oh.
it's like watching an action movie. The
Mm-hmm.
whole thing is basically like a big action movie where it's one plot of one mission that just happens. It just is broken out into like 8, or I think it's like 12 different levels, like 12 different chunks.
That's kind of
So
cool. It's
yeah, I
different
thought
from what we have these days, with just
yeah.
side quests and more longer storylines, I guess.
I mean, Halo Infinite's going to be open world, right? So
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
but I've got that under my belt, and at some point I'll pick up Halo 2. I don't know if I want to go through all the rest of the Halos first, or if I want to go play Doom, because I still have Doom installed, and that's like a huge game.
Doom 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I still want to try that one. That was the first game I completed. The second game, which you will hear us bring up later in the podcast, is I was going through my hard drive space because I'm starting to run out on my main hard drive. It's like, what do I even have installed in here besides like Microsoft Flight Sim, which is 90 gig? And I realized that I never finished Iron Danger, which, if you remember from, I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe further, Iron Danger is that strategy game from Daedalic Entertainment, where with the timeline and the time rewind portion of it. Remember what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So you have like your multiple characters you're controlling that are moving around a battlefield, like it's a real time Divinity style where you have spells and cooldowns and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you loved it.
It's super duper fun, and the story seemed like it was wrapping up, and I don't know what made me fall off of it. I just stopped playing it, but I was like, you know what? I think I'm only a few missions from the end. So I went back and I finished that yesterday. And one, still a great game. Like that, there's nothing quite like that hyper minute strategy of like literally, oh, I'm gonna move here. Okay, I got damaged. I'm gonna move 1 foot to the right. Okay, I didn't get damaged. Now I can continue on, right? Like, and I challenged myself to play that entire game without taking any damage, and I did
Mm-hmm.
it.
Nice. That's cool.
So that was a really really cool thing. The story though, um, definitely a cliffhanger, which felt
Oh,
bad.
it did it. Wait,
It
does that
felt
not make
like,
you excited for a sequel or something?
but it was like watching the first Lord of the Rings movie without having the other two. Of like, oh yeah, we like completed this thing we were trying to do, but also it's just step one of this much bigger war that we need to
Mm-hmm.
go like do. And then it's like, off we go to fight the war, and then credits roll.
Oh,
And I'm like,
that is weird.
yeah, I was a little bit confused, and like the section of the game, like they have a final boss, and it's like it's someone that was, a reoccurring villain, and they had like a big monster, and it felt like a final boss. Like as I
Uh-huh.
was fighting it, I was like, this is probably the end of the game. So gameplay wise, it was absolutely the end of the game, and it felt like it. But then the decisions the characters make in the cutscene after the end of the game, it's like, oh, they're not like done with their quest. They've actually taken on like a much bigger quest, and they're all like, let's go do it, rah. And then credits roll, and I was like, oh, I guess I just don't get that right now. I guess I gotta
What?
get that next game.
Maybe a DLC pack is coming?
No, it's too. If it's a DLC pack, it's too big for a DLC pack.
Huh.
I'm trying not to be spoilery, especially because we'll mention it actually comes up in our deals this week. It's one of the gaming deals that a
No
lot of
way.
people might be able to get their hands on. So I
Oh,
don't
that's
want to spoil it,
awesome.
but I thought it was super weird how it ended. But don't let that take away from the quality of the game. I think the game was really, really, really good.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm glad you could finally finish that.
I have Iron Danger and Halo crossed off my list.
Very good. Congratulations. You play anything else besides those?
Yeah. I have a game that I tried for the first time, and then I have one other thing I wanted to mention. So I was visiting a friend's house who has some younger kids, and we're friends, and the kids like me. I like hanging out with them, and they're like, Daniel.
Is this
You
the guy
gotta
who
play.
was in your wedding? That one
Yes,
guy? Okay.
yeah, that one guy.
Nice.
Um, and
He's
his
cool.
kids were like, Daniel, you got to play Fall Guys with us.
Oh, nice. They play the Fall Guys.
Yeah, so they sat me down at their PC and they handed me like an Xbox 360 controller, and
Oh,
they showed me a round of Fall Guys. I was like, okay, I'll get in here. I'll play some Fall Guys. So I got to play through 2 rounds of Fall Guys for the first time,
nice.
and I had some fun with it. I feel like the everything is so loosey goosey enough that it was like a little bit frustrating. Of like, if this was a platformer, like I know how to time my jumps. I know how
Yeah.
to not get hit by the swinging blade or whatever, right? Like I have all the experience to do this, but then some moron like bounces in the back of my head and I fly off the ground. I'm like, oh, it's like that frustration of like bumping into
Oh
people
no.
constantly.
Yeah.
Um, but I had a lot of fun playing it. I am actually kind of happy I didn't jump on the bandwagon because I feel like I'm the kind of person that would get tired of playing it after like 4 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really fun.
Yeah. Basically, we'll try it out when it eventually and inevitably goes free to play. I'm sure.
Probably. Well, it was free to play on PlayStation. That's what made it launch into so much
Yeah.
popularity with the PS Plus. So I don't know where it'll end up going, but
It's $20. I'm sure one day they'll be like, buy costumes, it's free.
right.
Yada yada.
I got on my second round. I got all the way to the final round. And
Oh,
got
very nice.
eliminated. I didn't even get eliminated. Someone had just got there before me.
Oh,
But
no.
that was pretty good time. Fall Guys.
Yeah, I still have yet to play it.
There's one more thing I'll mention, but I don't have a lot of my own thoughts to talk about, and I know it'll come up later with our emails. So I will defer to any other
Ooh.
games that you've gotten a chance to try.
Email spoiler. Well, I've been playing Animal Crossing as usual. Update came out. We're growing some pumpkins. Pumpkins are so much fun.
Spooktober Animal Crossing.
Yes, just having something to grow, just farming in Animal Crossing is as fun as I thought it would be. Looking forward to more crops being added in the future. So that's really all I have on that.
Okay.
I played Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron came out.
Yes, the big Star Wars.
The cool Star Wars ship game.
Yes.
I don't have no HOTAS, unfortunately, so I played it with the Xbox controller.
Okay.
Still lots of fun. The game is wonderful. I love it, and I hope that you get it one day because I feel like we would have fun shooting fools.
Okay.
The reviews are mixed on Steam. I forget what the main consensus was, like as to why.
Well, you've played it. What's your opinion? I don't need to hear a reviewer.
I know, but like, like I have like a personal opinion versus like the mass opinion. I'm sure the mass opinion is more logical and
has different insights than you do.
Yeah, exactly. So like I'm wanting to figure out why. Let me see if it still is mixed. It is still mixed.
Our precious listeners don't come to this podcast for the masses, Jordan. They come for you.
That's true.
They want your sweet voice explaining why you love Star Wars.
Yeah, I think it was just complaints with the story, if I can recall correctly.
Is the story bad?
I think it's fine so far. I think it's cool. Yeah.
Good news.
And not being able to like customize your ship very much, which again, I don't really care. So
go play Star Citizen.
I like it a lot. The controls are really fun, diverting power to like from the shields to the engines to the weapons. Just switching ships like mid combat because you're in a more aggressive stage of combat. So it's like, I'm going to switch over to the Y-Wing, which is better at bombing massive ships.
How do you do that? Do you like change? Does it like zoom you out and now you're like in another ship?
No, you have to fly back to your main mothership and then you fly into the hangar and then you fly out with the new one.
Oh.
So I think it's a balancing thing. But I haven't unlocked multiplayer yet because you need to level up a certain amount just so you know what you're doing before you jump into multiplayer. But I've done a lot of AI matches and I think it's fun. I like it a lot.
Cool. Then I
did it in VR because that's something I've been really excited for. And
oh no.
Oh no. This is I don't know. I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected you to say after that long pause.
So freaking cool. So dizzy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't feel sick. I just felt dizzy doing loop-de-loops. But wow, is it cool to like do a upside down like twist where you fly over and you can look up, but you're looking down at the ship you just flew over. And it's like, oh, where's my next target? Oh, it's up here in my top left. And so you like turn. So freaking cool.
Did you ever play Eve Valkyrie on Oculus? Okay, because I got it for free when I bought the headset because they gave it away for free for the first few months for early adopters. And so that's my experience with VR space sim. And like, yeah, definitely, especially because I just got the headset, right? So I hadn't really established my VR sense. And I sit down with that Xbox controller and I'm like, and you do a barrel roll and your stomach turns. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. So the big pause was for it is super duper buggy.
Oh.
Like, and that's really just a testament to how much I loved it. I still loved it, even though it was so buggy in VR.
Okay.
Like, I'm talking about the menus would be like flash, 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 where it's like I had to close my eyes because I was like,
strobing you?
yes, I was like, ow, this hurts. Oh, it was terrible. Or like frame rate drops, which is, so jarring in VR.
Oh, oof, yeah.
So even terrible stuff like that, I was still having a blast. To where if they fix that stuff, which I assume it'll be like, we'll just patch in the future. I doubt it's my computer's issue because I have a pretty good graphics card. So I assume it's just them, EA makes games. What are you going to do? Just fix the menus to where it's like it doesn't hurt to get into a game, and then
that's a good requirement for your game. Doesn't cause physical pain to the player.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the segments where I was flying around and the frame rate was fine. So cool. When they started dropping, I was like, this feels so bad. But just the fact that I was still having a blast despite all those terrible issues, I loved it. It's so much fun.
Cool. I'm looking forward to trying it out. The VR is actually what has stopped me from playing it so far. Because if you have a copy, I was thinking of trying it with the HOTAS and everything like that. But as we talked about last week, I did the pre-order on the Quest 2. And so I've had an issue where like I've had this VR equipment for a while, and there's only a few games I actually want to play on them. And I'm trying to loosen up a little bit and let myself like try out new stuff in VR and have more fun. But at this point, I've kind of stopped playing anything because I've put all this money into this fun new Quest 2 toy that I want to try when I get it. And like, I don't want to play Half-Life Alyx. I don't want to play Star Wars Squadrons or anything until I've gotten that, because I don't want to put in, 15, 20 hours into those games and like experienced everything they had to offer with my old headset and then get the new headset and like not really have anything I'm interested in playing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm kind of saving that game and saving the rest of Half-Life Alyx until I get the new headset.
You should still try it without VR though, because even without VR, and that's the majority of how I played it, it is a lot of fun, and I'm sure it'd be even more fun with the HOTAS. Man, I really want to get one now, or just at least try it with one, because that'd be so cool.
It's too bad this game had to come out like a month after Microsoft Flight Sim, right? And so
for real.
They're all out of stock everywhere.
But it is really cool. The UI and all the ships does take some memorization, but generally they're the same kind of thing you're looking for. But it's a really cool thing where it's like, which one is my speed? Oh, like there it is. So like where, because there's like a optimized speed for turning or speed for you're not moving at all, and then full speed. So you always need to like glance at it to see what I'm doing right now, because I'm about to do a turn. So I'll glance down, let off the speed a little bit so I can do a tighter turn. Or like what is all my power being diverted to right now? Is it on weapons? Is it on just like a general flat distribution? So yeah, a lot of that where I was just like, where is it? What am I using right now? Just looking around frantically, because
which ship am I in?
Exactly, because the ships do change. Unfortunately, playing as the Empire sucks a lot worse in VR, because their ships are more enclosed, so you just kind of have a window in front of you. And this is so cool that I'm judging the factions based off of how they designed their ships. But playing as the Rebellion is so much more fun because they have more open cockpits, so you can like look around. In a TIE fighter, you can't actually like look around because they only have the window in front.
You got the big fat wings on the side too, right?
Yep.
Huh.
So VR is more fun as the Rebellion.
There's a balance issue to that. Is one of the weirdest things I've heard so far. That's nuts.
Yeah. Huh. It's pretty cool.
The things you don't think about in a flat screen type of game.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the same on a flat screen.
Yeah.
But that was lots of fun. And also, unfortunately, I would have had played Baldur's Gate 3 by now. But it got delayed to Tuesday, so I'll have to wait 2 more days. Yeah.
Now you have like 3 more days to 100% Mario 64, and then you can play Baldur's Gate.
I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, so I like my budgets. I like sticking to my budgets, right? So I had this money for Baldur's Gate 3. I had it in an account. I had it saved. I said, this money's for Baldur's Gate 3. But I was like, well, I kind of want to have it in my Steam wallet because that makes more sense, right? Just so I know it's there and I know it'll be ready for it. You know how you can only buy Steam wallet chunks in like, you got your 5, you got your 15, you got your 50, Yeah.
but there's also like exact price of the game, right?
But when you're buying a game, but this game isn't out
Right.
yet and you can't pre-order it. So I think it's like $63.70 saved for this
Uh-huh.
game with taxes and everything. But
Uh-huh.
there's no way to do that exact amount. I had to do 5, I had to do 50, or I could, or like 20. So I had to do I would have to had done a 50 and a 20 for 70, and then I'd have $7 extra. And I was like, this is dumb. Can you really not put a custom amount into
Why
your
did you want it
Steam?
in your wallet that bad?
So just for budgeting reasons, just I have this money saved for this game. I don't want to use it on anything else on accident. So
Okay.
having the exact amount in my Steam wallet, it's going to that. So
Okay.
I Googled, I was like, is it really not possible to do a custom amount? Apparently, you can use inspect element on the Steam checkout page and change one of the lines of code to be the amount you want. And when you click on it, it's like, hey, you're purchasing this amount. So I thought
So they
that
don't
was
have-
pretty neat.
So you can do a client-side override on the amount field. I mean, I guess from their perspective, as long as it's above the minimum, it's
Yeah.
still valid.
Yeah, they said it doesn't work if you do below minimum, but you can type in a custom amount in the HTML, hit enter, and then click on the buy button for like $5 or whatever you changed it for. And it's like, hey, here's your amount. You're checking out.
What? I'm just gonna do a Google search here for Valve approximate net worth.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. In 2012, this is 8 years ago,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like they've grown a lot, I would say. They were worth 3 billion,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have a developer that has made a custom entry field on the
For
Steam wallet.
Steam.
I mean, maybe they don't want people entering custom amounts. Maybe it's like some weird money laundering thing,
I guess.
but they don't care enough to stop the client side people. I'm not going to guess what their back end system looks like, but that is ridiculous.
Yeah, I thought that was
is
hilarious.
bonkers.
That is, I like commented on the YouTube video where I learned how to do it. I was like, this is the most like relevant use of inspect element that I have ever seen. Usually you just like use it to be like, haha, butts on someone's page and then send them a screenshot.
Is that what you do? Is that the normal usage?
I mean, yeah, I have a friend who's working on a website, so he'll send them to me, and I'll like change things around and say dumb things about him and send it back, and I'll be like, hey, why does it say this about yourself? Like that's not relevant or like helpful in any way. But this actually helped me put the money I wanted into my Steam wallet.
I found a way to pull out a YouTube. No, I spent like 10-15 minutes messing with like inspect element stuff to basically dig my way through like an embedded video and find the source video link one time,
Mm-hmm.
and then like cut out that URL and paste it into the YouTube play or whatever, and I was able to play the original video and download it.
Oh, nice.
It was really weird. I don't remember what. Oh, it was when I was making that emote for the Discord server. But
Oh, was that recent?
yeah. Like pretty
interesting.
recently, I was doing this.
Very nice.
Wow. Well, that's a plethora of games. Do we want to jump into some of these deals and the cool announcements that have excited us this week?
That sounds good. We want to do deals first, then we can do Jordan's news roundup.
Sure. Oh no! Or don't make this a bit.
I forgot what my tune was. It's da-da-da-da-da-da. Time for Jordan's news roundup. See, nope,
No.
I botched that.
No. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, buckle up. This is the beginning of the month, and so we are getting all of our hot deals out. First off, let's talk about the Xbox games for gold. So there is one game that is left over from last week. That is the Book of Unwritten Tales 2 is still available until October 15th. Not really heard too much about that. There's another one here called Slay Away Camp Butcher's Cut that's available for all of October until the 31st. And then they have the Xbox original game available to download called Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. That sounds like the kind of game that someone played when they were 12 and didn't realize that no one else cared about.
That's hilarious.
But those are available for Xbox. PlayStation's got, in my opinion, slightly more interesting. They've got Need for Speed Payback for free for October if you have PS Plus, and Vampire, which is that vampire role-playing game. I believe the sequel. I believe the sequel's coming out pretty soon. Good Halloween game. Nice job, Sony, on that one. All right. it's no secret that
Uh
we are
huh.
a little down on the year of 2020's humble choice bundles. That there've only been a couple that have actually interested us,
Oh
right?
yeah, right. Yeah.
So what do you think about this month's? There's a lot that I could talk about. There's like 9 games I could talk about on this list, but none of them are like hard hitters except for one, in my opinion.
I am trying to find the pause subscription button as we speak.
Oh, you don't want okay, okay. Well, they
I can't find it.
the most important game on this list that I've got to tell everyone about is that they do have Iron Danger on here, which is the game I was just talking about before, that strategy RPG game involving time manipulation where you can go back and forth and kind of change your character's actions. Super fun. I just beat it. I really liked it. You heard my opinions earlier. That's available on there. And for if you have the classic edition, like me and Jordan both have for like $12, I'd say it's worth that. Absolutely, just for that game alone. And some of these other ones on here are interesting. The premium at 15, sure, if you're really interested in that game, go ahead. The other ones can just be a bonus for you, but there's a few other ones on here I think would be good too. Or if you have the $10 edition where you just get the 3 games, definitely that's my pick out of the lot. But there's a lot in here if you dig deep enough. Have you seen some of these other ones? Like, have you looked through the list yet?
I just kind of glanced over them.
Okay, okay. Well, some of these. So there's The Suicide of Rachel Foster, which is another a game by the same producer that does Iron Danger, but it's like a story detective pseudo horror game. Not really. It's like a suspense game. I know that Jordan is not a fan.
It gave me the
uh,
spoops just hearing it in the background.
yeah, you never even played it, but my wife has played The Suicide of Rachel Foster, and it has a bit of a creepy story. And I know that Jordan had a little difficulty sleeping that night,
Ooh.
but Tropico 6 is on there. If you
That's a good
have
one.
if you like Tropico, you like Tropico at this
Yeah.
point, right? They've made 6 of them. If you've never heard of it, go look it up, see if it's your kind of thing. There's another one in here called Fey Tactics that I've heard of. I've not played, but that one is like a turn-based strategy, kind of fantasy Fire Emblem style. I thought that looked interesting, and the art and the animation looked really good on the trailer that I was watching. Um, Last like serious one I'll call out here is called Sunless Skies and Sunless Sea. It's a double pack. Those games are like interesting survival games, not like your first person, you're in an open world survival game, but more like your FTL kind of survival game where you're like in control of a system or a ship and it's top down and you're going from place to place. So one of them is in an ocean and one of them is in outer space. That's Sunless Skies for Sunless Sea. So both of those come in a double pack together.
Oh, that's cool. So one
Um,
game counts as like a bundle of those two.
yes,
Very
yes.
cool.
I forget what it's actually called when you go look at it on the Humble. If you haven't pulled up, can you shout
Sunless
that out?
bundle.
Yeah, Sunless Bundle is one option on this list of games. Couple other interesting ones I found in here. Fantasy Blacksmith. I've seen kind of a real funny YouTuber that does um, like simulation games and he makes great videos about them. But he's done one on this game, so I've seen a lot about it while it was in early access. It's if you like the idea of being a blacksmith and buying materials and like literally hammering out patterns and choosing metals and choosing when to put the metal in the forge and when to hammer it on the anvil and what
Oh, that's cool.
attachments to put onto it and like you try to sell them in a shop and like make a profit to buy more materials to make better
What?
swords. You can
Whoa.
do like arcane enchantments on your stuff and you're just a blacksmith selling rare weaponry.
Does that
um,
have VR support?
I don't know.
I feel like
It's a
that
good
could be
question.
a fun VR game.
Yeah, you want to look that up for me real quick?
I will.
There's one that seems like the kind of game that I would install and play with a friend for 2 hours and then forget ever existed, called Goat of Duty. And it is a
Oh,
2 to 10 person multiplayer online shooter where you play as a goat. Um, I think that would be fun to try at some point. And then the last one that caught my eye, it was called Basement, and it's a just the description. It is about a person who has turned to illicit activities in their basement to fund their game development studio. And so it
so
is
it's Breaking Bad but video games.
Yes. So out there is somewhere is a game developer who has made a video game about a game developer who sells drugs so that he can be a game developer.
What?
And if that isn't suspicious of the person who made this game,
Hmm.
someone should check in on the developer of Basement, because I don't know how they developed Basement, but illegal narcotics might have been involved. That's all I'm going to say.
Check their basement.
Check their basement. They kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
Maybe be a little bit more careful with that. There's other games in there that I didn't feel like mentioning, but all in all, very wide variety of games, and like several ones that would be interesting. I just don't know if they're top of my list to play right now.
Right. Yeah.
You're still gonna pause?
Yeah. I know. I paused. Yeah.
All right.
Fantasy Blacksmith does not have VR support, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
missed opportunity.
Oh well.
Oh well. I checked the PC Game Pass. I didn't see anything too interesting this week that's entered in there. Obviously, still all those Halo games are in there. Night in the Woods came out last week in there, and gotta get ready. This is the first month where that price hike is hitting, so it's twice the price. And they have not announced when the Bethesda games are going to be joining, but now that they've been acquired, that's inevitable. But though I believe with the price hike this month is also the first month you get that EA Play access. So there will be a lot to talk about once that goes into effect.
Ooh, exciting.
I got one more deal here. Did you have anything you wanted to call out?
Nope.
All right. I went just looking just to see on top of all these deals for the month if there's anything I wanted to call out. I went to Steam, and completely out of the blue, there's a little game called Origami that is $4 right now.
Oh, no way.
Which if before we ever did the podcast, me and Jordan played through this game together co-op, and it's like I would say a pretty fun ninja stealth game.
Yeah.
It's an indie game for sure. Like, it's not super long, it's not super impressive, but I had a blast playing it, and it's co-op with someone. I think it would be great solo, but it was very fun co-op.
Yeah, that was one of those games where I had no interest in playing it, and Daniel's just like, well, you know what? We both own this game. Let's just try it out. And I was like, begrudgingly, like, oh, okay, whatever. It was lots of fun, though. Being two little sneaky ninjas trying to beat the levels.
It has a totally different vibe co-op. Like, by myself, I'm like, I am the knight and I will stalk this land. And then like with another person, you're like, all right, I'm going to get the entire camp following me, and then I'm going to go hide in the river, and you just look it for the objective.
Yeah. Actually, here's a sale that I just came across, and I feel like it's kind of relevant because you brought them up multiple times.
Yeah.
On Switch, Bastion is $3 and Transistor is $4.
Yes, I believe in honor of the launch of Hades last week, which, again, I know it's really good. I haven't played it, but it's one of my wife's favorite games. And
I was reading the reviews on it. It's like overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, like I predict this is going to win some Game of the Year awards. Like, Hades is getting overwhelmingly positive reviews everywhere that you can find them.
Pretty cool. I seem to be a patient player on the Hades bandwagon. Like, I'll play it when I play it, that scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to play it when I do.
I got plenty to play right now. Trust me. I literally have a virtual sticky note on my desktop right now with all the stuff I want to play. But I crossed out Iron Danger.
That's awesome.
Iron Danger is done.
Very nice.
Alrighty. You said you had a couple things in your whatever your roundup nonsense is that we're doing.
It's time for news roundup. Yeah. Woo! This is a big week for... Hello, this is Jordan coming to you live from Patient Players headquarters. We have a big news week roundup of news. This week, Super Smash Bros. Got its newest character, Steve from Minecraft. And
the newest announcement?
What?
He's not in the game yet. He's announced.
This week, Super Smash Bros. Got its newest character announced, coming out next Monday. Tuesday?
Looking for it.
I think it's the 13th.
Oh, it's that fast? Yeah, 14th.
Dang. I just lost a day. Yeah, so I was honestly expecting it to be like a month of waiting. I'm really happy that it comes out next Wednesday.
They're pretty fast with their turnaround once they announce it. Usually it's like 1 or 2 weeks and they'll drop a big patch.
Yeah, well, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. His video on like how he works and his map and everything was like 45 minutes long. Mm-hmm. Very, very complicated character.
I love those in-depth analysis that Sakurai does. I loved watching him do it for like when Hero came out from Dragon Quest and all those. It's super good.
Yeah. I had told 2 friends that I was going to wake up at 9:30 to watch it with them live on the day it came out. Mm-hmm. I slept in Meanwhile, they were both just kind of on the Discord waiting for me. I was so sad.
Oh.
Yeah. So thank you, friends, for being nice. Sorry that I like sleeping too much. I blame D&D the night before.
Because I saw it at like 9:30 or 10 that day, and then I messaged you, and you were sleeping in, so you didn't get back to me for a while. But I did end up watching it with you.
Oh yeah, that was
you meant the long one.
Yeah, that was the reveal of the announcement.
Oh.
This was the actual 45-minute analysis of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. Okay. Also, this week, or was it this week? Spelunky 2? When did Spelunky 2 come out?
Last week on PC. This week.
Okay, this week, Spelunky 2 is a thing.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the announcement. Spelunky 1 is a really old game, really fun game. It's got a sequel, like, I don't know, like 8 years later. It took a long time. But it's marked off like $2 on Steam for the next couple days. So
that early adopter.
Exactly.
Tax.
Yeah, down from $20 to $18. But I mean, even so, that's a real cheap game, and it has very positive reviews, which is
I've heard good things about it.
Really good to hear. And last on this week, Minecraft's new update was announced, called Caves and Cliffs, which announced new cave stuff for Minecraft. Ooh,
all right.
And also, yes, Daniel.
I got to talk to a real live high schooler and a middle schooler about the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update this morning. Do you want to hear what I learned from that interview?
Yes, sir. Please share with us here.
Here are the full facts that I know from the front lines of a middle schooler. It has goats.
Yes, sir.
It has axolotls.
Yeah.
That you can tame, I guess.
Yeah, they're like water wolves.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are they big? Because like real life axolotls aren't big.
They're not big.
They're teeny?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can have like a swarm of them around you as you go into like an underwater temple.
Caves can have vines now.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Yeah. There's a new cave biome of like just nature, just grassy everything, grassy flowers and vines.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was all that I learned from my little interview here.
Oh goodness, there was so much more, Daniel.
Okay.
There's a new deep dark biome in the caves, which is at the very bottom of the map.
Okay.
Where you can discover new scary. They didn't talk about that one like at all. They just kind of gave a teaser of it.
I forgot one.
Oh, what's that?
The warden. They told me about the warden.
Yes, that's where you find the warden, who can two-shot you in the best armor in the game.
Wow.
So yeah, he a big boy, but he's really cool because he's like blind. So in the gameplay they showed, it has him like throw a snowball over behind him, and he like goes to check out the snowball, and they're like running away, and then they step on a plant or something, and he starts chasing him down. So that's pretty cool. They also had the mob vote where they vote. They do a Twitter poll for one of 3 mobs to be added in the game. Mm-hmm. We had a flower cow. That's it. That's the mob. It's a flower cow. Cool. A glowy squid. A squid that glows. And an ice villager that attacks you with ice. So
I feel like none of those are like super interesting.
Yeah,
a little underwhelming.
Not too exciting. I voted for the glow squid, and the glow squid actually won.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. That's pretty cool how they do that. It makes me sad though that the other 2 are just gone. Like I wish they would just like do them later, but no, they're just like, we're not going to do these. And they did the same thing 3 years ago.
You got a million ideas. You got to pick some of them and leave other ones behind at some point.
Exactly. But that's a bummer.
Cool.
But yeah, I feel like I'm missing so many things. It was a long stream. I had a fun time watching it that day of the update. But yeah, that's Jordan's news roundup.
May I just say, if you go watch the Steve in Smash Bros announcement video, really, I think the real reason that they're adding Steve into Minecraft is so that Sakurai can flex on everyone with his awesome Minecraft builds.
Yeah.
Because the last like 30 seconds of that trailer are just Sakurai talking about how much he likes playing Minecraft. And then he like humble brags and he's like, I don't build anything beautiful in creative mode. I only play in survival mode. Meanwhile, on screen, it's just panning between images of like these beautiful creations and with a little asterisk that says like live gameplay from Sakurai's screen. Like Like he's just like, oh no, I don't play in creative mode. I'm only a survival. And then like all of his stuff is on screen.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah.
You go, Sakurai.
Oh, they announced some new DLC for Minecraft Dungeons.
Okay.
That looks pretty good. Like Nether DLC.
I need to add that to my sticky note.
Underwater.
I'm doing that right now.
Dude, I want to play it more, but I don't want to play it on my own, you know? I just keep forgetting to ask you guys if you're free sometime to play it.
You just need to have more time, Jordan.
Honestly, though, I do. And crossplay is coming to Minecraft Dungeons. They actually, on the Minecraft stream, they showed someone on PS4, Xbox, PC, and Switch all playing together, and that was their gameplay.
Fun.
That's really
like
cool.
the Minecraft at its core, right? Because Minecraft is one of the first crossplay games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's like, you got to have that with Minecraft, man.
Exactly. So
Cool.
yeah. Oh, here's a list of more stuff. They're adding a telescope to Minecraft, some crystals, kind of like a backpack called bundles, which I think the UI is terrible on those. But that's just my opinion.
Maybe some developers had a hard time picturing what some sort of backpack system in Minecraft would have looked like. I mean, you know, coming up with that from scratch is so difficult.
You need to see it. It looks. I hate it. I hate how it works.
They probably had like 5 developers working on the backpack, and then they had to pull 3 of them because they're still trying to figure out a sort button. I mean, they just can't figure out.
Yes, dude. They started on stream. They were like, so you know how your inventory just gets bogged down a lot, and it can be a bad problem. I was literally audibly staring at the screen, watching other people. I was like, add a sort button. Please tell me you added a sort button. And they're like, so we're adding bundles. And I'm like, no, you were so close. No,
for only
$4.99
you can buy.
Oh, you like you know what? You can see it later. Whatever. So yeah,
let me just say, when you sit down to learn how to use computers and program things, sorting is literally one of the first things in that first class you learn how to do.
Yeah.
Sorting is what computers are best at. Everyone who works on Minecraft knows how to create a sorting algorithm. I guarantee it. Maybe an artist doesn't, who's never programmed anything.
Yeah, it's just not the Minecraft way. I've noticed that if you want a feature in Minecraft, they may add it, but it'll be some weird way of doing it. Almost like a Nintendo stank turd. Yeah. Where it's like, thanks, I wanted this, but what? Like, not for example, they're technically adding like a wireless redstone receiver.
Okay.
And I say technically because if it was a mod pack, you know, here's the receiver, here's the cinder. You did it. Wireless redstone. What they're doing is you place a plant, you cover it in wool, and then when you walk near it, it like transmits in a certain direction, and that needs to be covered in wool also. And then like it's like what is all these extra steps? Can you just make a wireless redstone receiver? You don't have to make like a little jiggly plant that detects like around a radius. Whatever. And also the bundles. Oh my word, I can't get over how much I hate the bundles, how they look. It's so bad.
It doesn't just open another inventory?
No, you drag them like into the bag, or you use the bag to put them in, and it's just a little like black square, and it'll randomly put pictures of the stuff you're putting in there. So if there's a lot of stuff in there, just imagine just a mess of pictures showing everything in there, and you can't like take one out like that you want. I think you empty the whole thing at once.
Wait, so it's like you're a traveler with like a sack, and you've thrown a bunch of stuff in the sack, and then you like open the sack and it's all just jumbled up in there.
That is a perfect way of putting it, and I guess that's why they're called bundles, because it's just like, here's my stuff, and when you want it out, there's the stuff. So I guess it'll have its use, but I wish they could have done it better. Is basically what I'm saying.
That is so weird. And I
feel like,
understand this.
Do you know what shulker boxes are? Did you
kind
play
of, yeah.
enough? Okay, I feel like that was this is our backpacks, you know? Whereas a mod would be like, here's more slots, but they're like, no, here's a chest that you have to carry around, and you place it down, and then you open it up, and you get your stuff out, and then you mine it, and then you walk away. And it's like, thanks for these 5 extra steps when we just want a backpack. Thanks, Mo Yang.
I mean, if you've ever seen someone do the math on how much you can actually carry by carrying a full inventory of like 64 blocks of stone on Steve's back, in Minecraft, like,
do you like the weight, the gravity weight?
It's like, maybe backpacks are a little bit unrealistic, but yes, inventory management in that game is one of the least fun parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've played a lot of modded Minecraft, and the mods that are just like, here's a sack with like 80 spaces in it that you just
Yes.
put on your hotbar,
Oh,
and
like
now you have a giant
the
inventory.
vacuum sack where it automatically picks stuff up.
Oh yeah, it pulls up your resources. Like
Oh, so
that
good.
stuff doesn't make the game insignificant or easy. It just makes it more fun to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I am like spoiled on some of the stuff in Satisfactory when I'm building stuff about being able to just like mass point and delete a whole section, or like like deleting something, just putting all the original raw resources back into my bag, and then I can just rebuild it somewhere else, like 3 inches to the left if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yep. So that's the Minecraft update. All in all, I am excited for it. The new caves look really cool. Like when they say it's a cave rehaul, it is a cave rehaul. Like not just like it's a tunnel and you follow the tunnel. It's like this is like you can get a big vast open area. You got some water sections where it's like an underground lake. You have caves that are completely filled up with water, so you have to do like the diving through the cave. It's really cool. I'm really excited for it, and that's coming next year. So a bit of a ways off.
Well, I feel like they just last Minecon was when they had the water update, right?
I think so. I think last year it was the water update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're on a good track for these big updates for Minecraft. Think about how old Minecraft is and how it's not a subscription. Like people are still
right.
Like you and I still own Minecraft. We can go play it.
Mm-hmm.
We gave them like $15 each. I don't know, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I've also bought like many Realm subscriptions, and I owned it on PS4 and iOS.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bought it on iOS that one time just to troll my cousin at a family gathering.
Yes, you mentioned that story. That was awesome.
Cool. Does that bring us to the best part of the podcast?
I think it does.
Sweet. Well, we are done talking about our games, and we're done talking about the deals for the week. Let's bring us to the question and answer section. As a reminder, right now, if you are listening to the live broadcast, you can email us at patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com or go to the Discord at patientplayers.com/Discord and send questions in the podcast questions channel. You can also join that Discord channel for any number of reasons. We are on there all the time, hanging out in the evenings, playing games. You can send messages, send memes, play Among Us, whatever you want to do. We can have fun with you guys on that Patient Players Discord channel. And then to follow any updates from the podcast, it is patientplayers.com/social. There you can find archives on your different listening services, video archives of the video podcast, and the Discord channel link in there as well. Twitter, Facebook, whatever you like to use, we would have up there for you. In the meantime, we've got a couple emails today. Shall you begin us with our email section, Jordan?
Yes, sir. Our usual weekly email from Miranda writes, "Hello, patient players. Of course, I have 2 questions for y'all today." I guess she's Texan. What is your
like Tennessee or something?
What is your favorite thing about Pokemon? And what is your favorite season or type of weather? Thank you, Miranda.
Favorite thing about Pokemon?
That's an easy one. Finally, an easy question. Woo!
Okay.
I like to collect them. I like to catch them all. You know that. Everybody knows that. That's the only way. That's the only reason I play Pokemon is to have all the Pokemons, because there's like 700 and something, like 50.
You just like having things, getting things, and having things.
Yep. Like I like having that completed living dex. Delicious.
I really like how, like, my favorite thing about Pokemon is how they have managed to pull off giving what is essentially a generic thing a personality. Like, my Breloom is my Breloom, and I love him, and he's different from anyone else's Breloom, even if he has the same stats and the same moves. Because, like, I found him, and I named him, and I decided how I was going to train him like a father. And he grew up, and he's very strong, and he can fight and win, and he has a strategy, and like,
oh my goodness.
And he's stuck in Pokemon Bank right now because I don't have Breloom doesn't exist apparently anymore. Nintendo just decided that Breloom doesn't get to play anymore in the modern Pokemon games. But
sad.
But yeah, like I have a Breloom, and I have a Scrafty, and I have a Sceptile, and like I remember them and I remember things I've done with them, even though they're just ones and zeros in this computer game. Whereas like other games I feel like I've played with that are Pokemon like, where they're collectibles, like Puzzles and
Mhm.
Dragons, you can
Yeah.
get monsters and level them up and train them or whatever. Like a lot of games have aped that thing, but Pokemon has managed to pull off just with the whole world it has and the fact that it hit when I was a kid and they have the shows and everything. It's like I can attach myself to these Pokemon way more easy than some of
Mhm.
these other creatures out there. That's my favorite thing about it
And
is.
you mentioned how like your Breloom can have like the same stats as another one, but also like statistically speaking, that's like super unlikely because of the way that the stats are randomly generated.
Sure,
Also, unless
unless
you
you're like breeding for a perfect one,
right,
right?
yeah. But also, I think that's also a cool aspect of it, where it's like that is something that makes yours different from someone else who just went out and caught one in the wild. Is that
Right.
it's not the same. It does some things a little bit differently in terms of stats. I always like that as a cool way of making these creatures like be actually different creatures instead of
Right.
just this is my Pikachu. It is the exact same as every other Pikachu. Also, like the genders,
Right.
like maybe my Breloom is a girl and yours is a boy. That's
Right.
just little touches.
Yeah. I do have to say I've kind of undermined my own enjoyment in a way, specifically when I've taken like a suboptimal Pokemon and then I've remade them optimally. Because I like Lucario and Mew are tied for my two favorite Pokemon of all time. I love Lucario and I love Mew. And so I had a Lucario that I used a lot playing the games, and then he had a name, he had a move set, he had a way that I used to play with him, right? And then I was like, you know what? I want to play with a slightly different Lucario that has a different move set, but I would need to have different stats on the new one. And I want to breed a perfect one, right? So I spent all these hours creating a perfect stat Riolu, which is evolves into Lucario. And then I evolved him the way I wanted to. I did all the stuff I do when I'm like creating a new Pokemon for my team. And I did that. Now at the end of the day, I have these two Lucarios. I have this one that's like my bro that I beat the game with,
Yeah,
and I have another one that's like perfect.
destroyer of
And
worlds.
destroy the world, yeah. And so it's almost like it's like that in Pokemon the first movie where you have like the normal Pokemon and then like the clone Pokemon that have like are like slightly more
Uh
powerful,
huh.
but also like mindless followers of this guy. And it
That's
just it
awesome.
the perfect one feels more like a game character and the other one feels more like my buddy Lucario. And so I feel kind of bad every time I don't use the worst one cuz I'm like he's just sitting there and I'm not fighting with him.
Oh, sad boy. He's only there for story purposes.
Yeah, exactly. Just kept around for use. How about your favorite season or weather?
I like the I think Seattle is like it a lot, where it's like kind of dark and gloomy with with a slight drizzle, maybe even a hard
Okay.
drizzle on a if I'm feeling adventurous that day.
Depressed and suicidal is your weather of choice?
Well, I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't say that, but almost it makes me feel like the world is like on my level mentally is when it is kind of dark and gloomy, you know? So it really makes me feel like invigorated and like strong on those days. So I really like it. Also, it's relaxing.
We're getting let into a bit of the angst inside.
I put the door on my forehead and I opened it up. But also, it's just relaxing looking at the window and being like, ah, a little pitter patter on the window.
I do like I honestly I like the little like light cool rain. I think ideal it for me is um sunny, cloudy and cool.
Ooh,
Like chilly. Like
chill. Yeah.
if I'm like I want the kind of weather where if I'm sitting outside without like a jacket or long sleeves that I'm going to get uncomfortable but only after like 20 or 30 minutes because I like when my extremities are cold but my main body is warm. Like my fingers and toes are a little uncomfortable but the rest of me is warm. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I love that kind of day. It's so
Very
great.
nice.
So for San Antonio, that's like 2 days of the year. That's what season. So like whatever 2 days of the year decide to be nice weather and the rest is just 90 degrees all the time.
We've been getting that up here, like the past few days. Like the weather is in like high 60s, low 70s,
Oh,
but it's still sunny
share.
with a little bit of clouds. It's
Share it
been
with
very
me.
nice.
I just need to come visit you. I mean I work from home. I can just come up there.
You should. That'd be cool. One of these days, I'm gonna get my own place, and I'll get a cot for you to sleep on. I'll get two
Nice.
cots for your wife also, and then there you go.
Why does my wife need two cots, Jordan?
No, two cots for you. Oh no. Let's just move on. Wow,
um,
that was terrible.
all right, to our next email here. This one comes in from we're still a little bit grumpy with Keaton because he kind of ruined our 50th episode, if you remember that. But
Yeah.
he does email us here. So we appreciate that email. Thank you, Keaton. We're going to read your email now.
Oh, geez, I just opened it.
Says, dearest friends, it is I, the great and all-powerful Keaton. I hack into your email today to talk to you about it. Also, just side note here, Keaton, just send us an email next time. Come on, man.
That's a good
not
point.
it's not private. You
Like,
can just
yeah.
send us an email.
Miranda sends us emails. We tell the address. What's the address again there, Daniel?
Address, for those who forgot, Keaton, is patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com. In fact, Keaton, why don't you go hack into Miranda's email and then you can send an email to the same address that she's sending them to, and you will end up getting to us.
Nice. Yeah, that works.
All right. Keaton writes in, I hacked into your email today to talk to you about a new game I've been playing, and you may have heard of this game already, as it turned out to be surprisingly popular. You see, me and my bro have this thing that we do where we find these free anime games online, we download them, and we tried them together.
I don't like that, but
99.9999999% of the time that we do this, the game ends up being really boring or poorly made. However, recently a game called Genshin Impact came out. My brother remembered the trailers for the game before it came out, and we decided to download it the day it came out. I went into the game fully expecting to turn out like all the others, but to my surprise, this game turned out to be really good. Also, I do want to mention that even if this is the only good anime game that they've ever played, that means that there have been, doing some counting,
what?
about 10 million, give or take a few zeros, anime games that they've tried. For it to be bad 99.9999999% of the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would believe it with Keaton.
Yeah.
10 million anime games. Yeah.
Yep. Genshin Impact is basically just anime Breath of the Wild with Nier Automata combat and gacha mechanics. That's not just me saying that either. The developers came out and said that Breath of the Wild, Nier, and gachas were the inspiration for the game. Without going into too much detail, since this email is already pretty long, the game is really good and very addictive. I haven't run into a gacha wall either, even after playing the game nonstop for a whole week. It seems to be an entirely optional part of the game that's just extra to the base game. So if you aren't into that type of thing, you can get the whole experience without touching it at all, as far as I know so far. Aside from that, the exploration seems even more dense, larger, and has much more variety with the things that you can find than the games that it is inspired from.
Oh.
It's fully voice acted in multiple languages, has
Wow.
online co-op,
Wow.
and is cross-play across PC, console, and mobile. Not sure what laws of physics they broke to get this on mobile.
Dang. That's really cool.
I really have nothing bad to say about it, except maybe that the story is a bit too generic of an anime fantasy, or how maybe there should be mounts for faster movement between teleportation spots, or maybe how the installer for PC took 8 hours to download the game despite the file size being pretty small.
That's probably
Aside
just
from
people
that,
bombarding the servers, right?
I would assume. I almost feel bad playing this game for free, and if you are a patient player looking for this kind of experience, there is no better deal. Love, and it's better than a K email, friend Keaton. Whoa! Whoa,
That's just rude.
You've done enough harm on this podcast, Keaton, for you to be dissing the best emailer that we have, the most faithful one. I don't know if I appreciate that.
I don't appreciate how I'm considering trying this out.
I have the launcher open as we speak and downloaded it during the pre-stream of the podcast.
Oh my word. Oh, that's what you meant by in a few hours you'd have another game to talk about.
Yeah. I was joking with Jordan that if we didn't do our recording right now, I would have another game to talk about in an hour or two. Because I've been wanting to try this out because everyone's talking about it and it's cool. Apparently, I'm down. I've seen like screenshots. I haven't watched a full trailer or anything, but I've seen some screenshots. I like the art. Definitely looks Breath of the Wild inspired in terms of like the cell shaded grassy trees and hills and everything. I don't know if the combat was my favorite part of Nier, but if everyone's enjoying this game and they're saying it's super fun, I will try it out and see where it goes.
It's only 2 gigabytes on mobile.
It was weird. I downloaded it on PC, right? I have the launcher. So I was like, it's not on Steam. Where is this game? So I just Googled it and I went to the website and it had like, which platform do you want to play on? And I clicked Windows, expecting to go to a page where it was like, here's where you can get it on Windows, right? But I clicked on Windows and it just downloaded an exe. I was like, oh, that's sketchy, but okay. So I launched it and it opens the installer, and the installer was only like 100 megabytes to install. And I was like, that's way too small. What is this game? And then I launched the installer and it actually installed like an 11 gig game. So I was like, okay, that's still really small, but
Can you remind me, So I thought I knew what a gotcha game is, but they said that they were inspired by gotcha games.
A gotcha game, it's a very particular type of like a loot box style.
That's
of
what I
game.
thought, but who would be inspired by that?
The Japanese.
Okay.
They're very popular. That's why think about like Fire Emblem Heroes is a gotcha game, and Puzzles and Dragons is a gotcha game.
Right, I was gonna mention that.
The kind of games where you can open a box and get a 3-star version of a person or a 5-star version of a person. Those are gotcha mechanics.
Okay, that's what I thought. Do you know where the game gotcha comes from?
The term gotcha? I don't. I think it has a meaning in Japanese. It's GACHA, gotcha.
It's also a great U.S. American English pun for getting sucked into
I remember.
Spending spree. Gotcha.
I remember what it was. It's because that is the name of the little machines that you put like a quarter in and you twist and you get a little capsule that has a toy in it.
Oh, okay.
Those are called gotcha machines. And so when they started making video games where you put money in and you get a little capsule that may or may not have what you want in it, they call them gotcha games.
Makes sense.
Go.
Pretty cool.
So I don't have anything to say on that this week, but I'm sure I will have an opinion next week.
No questions in this email. Usually Keaton does like a question at the end.
He's just too excited about this game.
He was too trying to get back to the game as he was writing the email. He's like, I gotta go back and play more.
This is the questions and answer section, Keaton. So in the future, can you please ask a question so that we're not just talking about a video game that neither of us have played?
We know Keaton pretty well. What would Keaton's question have been? If you could choose another video game experience to be made into a Breath of the Wild like experience, what genre would it be? Love and all things pink. Keaton. There you go.
I think that's canon. I gotta accept it for what it is now.
Yep. I mean, we basically already had Breath of the Wild Mario with Odyssey. Kind of. It was like little baby Breath of the Wilds.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know if I would count that the same thing.
That's fair.
I feel like the obvious one is Pokemon, so I'm not gonna say that one.
No, don't say that one because you know they'd mess it up somehow and it would be bad and it would be so sad.
Well, that's kind of what the wild area was trying to be.
Oh, yeah, and the new DLC is coming out like next week. I forgot to announce that in my news roundup.
Crown Tundra, Pokemon Iceborne?
Yeah, that will basically be like Breath of the Wild Pokemon because it's a wild area, but it's like 4 times bigger than the last DLC pack, which was already massive.
Here's why I'm going to make one quick exception on that. Part of the genius of Breath of the Wild is that the entire game has the visual sight as a major mechanic. So you see the towers, you go to them, and then from the towers you see all the objectives, right? And you mark them yourself on the map. You're not getting a map from someone. So all of the shrines, all of the villages, all of the points of interest, the people who developed the map paid very close attention to where you would be able to see these points from, where, what you can see from the towers, so on and so forth. So it's super important. And it actually leads to exploration because you see something, you go there, you are rewarded for exploring, you find something interesting almost every time. Pokemon, the draw distance is like 10 feet in front of your face. So you just kind of wander around until something interesting happens. You don't really go somewhere and find something cool.
I think you're forgetting the main thing that Pokemon games is you don't get to wander around. You follow someone because they say, hey, follow me over here. Forced cutscene happens.
Yep.
Hey, we need to find this one item. Oh no, you don't know where to look? Here, follow me to where it is exactly.
Right.
Yeah. No exploration for you. No. That takes skill.
For all the Sword and Shield complaints I had, some of the coolest moments was being in the wild area and being like, oh, that's cool. I couldn't get over there because I couldn't surf before, but now I can surf. What's over there? And I go over there and there's like a rare Pokemon that pops up. I'm like, that's super cool. Or like I found where there is a respawning like water stone or whatever, or all the elemental stones in that cool little area where the Eevee pops up. Like, and the Eevee changed based on the weather, right? And like that's a cool thing that I found and then figured out how it worked on my own. by exploring, and that was a very rewarding feeling.
No, I think you would have liked it more if there was a cutscene that brought you over there and told you about it, Daniel.
Right.
I think
Like if in the Poke Center there was like a Pokemon breeder that was like, by the way, Eevee's my favorite Pokemon, and did you know that you can find every Eevee with the different types based on the weather?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then it like
here, I marked it on your
out.
map already.
Yeah, and then it like fades, and then your map fades in with like a big red blinking dot on the area, and then it fades out, but the dot doesn't stay. So if you actually wanted to see the dot, you had to go back and talk to her again, because when you go out into the field, if you forgot where the dot was, you're just out of luck. I'm gonna stop ranting about Pokemon.
Woo, beautiful.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
No,
wait,
no.
I'm sorry. We have an additional question.
Yeah, we had a question joined. Joined? Added.
Yes.
You say I'm back.
I'm sorry. The question we have here would be, and I will point out, dear listeners, this is a live question. This is the bit you get to ask questions in response to our topics when you join the live stream. This live question says, what is one thing that you would change in Minecraft if you could? I would either have a sorting button or have it so that your pets can't die. It makes me so upset.
I hate when my pets die. When they can die, at least.
Yes. I've already told the story about how I was so mad at those wolves dying that one time that I stopped playing for like 6 months. So this is a tough one for me. I honestly think it would be the sorting button, though. It drives me up a wall that you can't hit a button and sort. It's oh my goodness, it's the worst.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the Questionnaire Brilliance for leveling up this week in birthday count.
Oh,
who this question comes from? I would probably say the shulker boxes. Like I was saying earlier, having to place them down and open them to get your stuff out. Because if you're like me and you're super organized, you have one shulker box, and within that you have 8 more shulker boxes, each named based on what they contained, for a nice inventory sorting system. You know what that means? Place a box down, open it, get a box out, close the menu, place that box down, open it, get your stuff out, close that menu, get that box back, close the old box, or open the first box, put the box back in, mine that box. There you go. You just got items out of your in a box scenario.
One item.
Yeah, whatever you needed. Like I've seen some amazing YouTube videos where they're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could do this? And they like right click on it in the menu and it opens up that, and you right click and there's your stuff. That would be so great and so easy.
Just like a folder at that point.
But it's like a file browser. But let's just give you like 13 steps because it's Minecraft. So I would change that nice little mechanic.
Would you rather have that or a sort?
I would rather have that. Yeah, I can live with sort. I'm fine with just managing one little inventory. I mean, if I had this, because I organize stuff so obsessively within my shulker boxes to where I don't care if they're well, no, I do it to where they're kind of sorted like manually by me, where I place, you know how you can hold down right click and drag and it will place like one item per slot. So I'll do that. Like this is my row of gold. I'll do, so it's like a row of 1 gold, and then I'll place the stack at the top. So that's like my way
as you enter stuff in, it'll just drop in.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one fills up, it goes to the next one and not like the next line, because it's like it's trying to fill out those stacks. So I would like that more.
Cool ideas. Cool ideas.
Cool question.
Very good questions. Very good podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Wonderful, wonderful listeners.
Yeah, happy 1 year, Daniel.
52 episodes.
52. We've officially done 1 podcast episode per week of a year.
That is insane. No one should listen to us that much. What are you doing? Get out of here.
Well, you
join us
can.
on the Discord, patientplayers.com/Discord. Play Among Us with us. Maybe talk about Genshin Impact. That sounds fun. And I was going to mention another game that we were going to play. Shoot. Oh, I have pay attention after the stream tonight. Give it a couple hours, and tonight there will be a Heroes of the Storm competitive match that I'm in.
Oh, sick.
And there is a way to be notified of that on the Discord as well. So.
And I'm about to download Genshin Impact on my Switch.
Oh, sweet. Is it crossplay? Because I just downloaded it on my PC.
He said it was crossplay with PC in the email, didn't he?
Oh, I don't remember. Well, that will be very fun. All right. Thanks for sticking around, guys, with the podcast. We will see you guys next week. And keep going in that slow lane, my friends.
Keep it in the slow lane. Bye.
Bye.